Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, everyone. It does look like rather that we are in a end game scenario here in the world. Here on this, what did Joe Rogan call it? A crazy convertible flying through the cosmos. It does look like we're in the end game and World War III has been primed. So we are going to be talking today, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be talking about Ukraine. We are going to be talking about Venezuela. That's what I'm going to focus this live stream on. After I've finished my monologue-esque talk about Venezuela and Ukraine, I'm going to come on to more what's been happening in the United Kingdom, because look, guys, we are heading towards World War III and World War IV. Yeah, we're heading towards two of them. Two of them are going to happen simultaneously. We have got World War III, which is going to be international militaries fighting battles overseas, guns, tanks, bombs, planes, trains, automobiles, airstrikes, naval strikes, kinetic strikes, maybe even lasers coming from space. Yeah, I said it, space lasers. All that sort of shizzle is going to be bedizzle. But you know what? World War IV is going to be the longer and the more devastating conflict, and that is going to be internal. That is going to be on the streets of the United Kingdom. That's going to be on the streets of Europe. That is going to be on the streets of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys think I'm wrong, please put it in the chat, because you know what, guys? Like Raven Maths, it never makes sense, but it always works. So I think we're triple streaming. Yes, we are triple streaming, guys. We're triple streaming. We are on TikTok. We are on YouTube, and we are on X. So please like, comment, share, subscribe. Do all those things that help this channel grow, because I really do appreciate it. Each and every one of your fine fingers that caress those buttons. Right, ladies and gentlemen, look, guys. Where do I go? I'm going to start with Venezuela, okay? I'm going to start with Venezuela. Now, one of the things I've said previously, and I'm going to go slightly off topic here, but then I'm going to come back and you guys are going to understand what I'm talking about. So when people say, Sean, is China going to invade Taiwan? Is China going to invade Taiwan? I'm like, yes, okay, I do feel that's on the cards. But the reason I don't talk about it is because I don't feel it's imminent. And the reason I don't feel it's imminent is because that military buildup has not been achieved. That military buildup is not there. You can't hide that military buildup. It's impossible to hide. Now, from some, from some reports, some reports, mainstream media reports, I'm going to share them with you guys in a second, are that the United States Navy have deployed 20% of their naval forces within striking distance of Venezuela. Guys, this doesn't happen. This just doesn't happen by accident. I'm speculating that the United States military are planning a full-scale military. This is me speculating, guys. And for you guys on TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes, and this is only my opinion. But for the rest of you guys, I'm speculating that the United States military are planning a full-scale military operation into Venezuela. It's going to be quick, it's going to be devastating, and it will achieve the aims. This is going to be a massive tick in the box for Donald Trump. It's going to be a massive tick in the box. He's going to be able to go in, he's going to be able to take control of another country, and he's going to be able to get a shit ton of oil. And look, guys, let's be hashtag real right now. The world is about oil, and it's always been about oil. That's the reality. So I'm going to give you guys a little monologue now on Venezuela. I'm then going to come onto the chat on TikTok. And listen, guys, you guys on YouTube, I'm not going to come onto the chat on TikTok because you guys can't comment on TikTok. I don't know why. You guys can't comment on TikTok. I keep trying to change the settings. It won't let me change the settings. I want the settings open. So if you guys on TikTok want to comment, want to chat, want to talk, we are triple streaming. I'm on YouTube. I'm streaming right now on YouTube, and I'm streaming right now on X. And I am the Real Raven 1 on YouTube, and I'm the Real Raven 1 on X. And I will be closing you guys down on TikTok before I close everybody else down. And then I'll just continue this live stream on YouTube and X. Ladies and gentlemen, World War III We're in the end game right now, and the pieces have been set. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, everyone. And right now, as I speak to you guys on the, what are we on, the 20th? Is it the 20th? 21st, sorry, I'm like there on the bottom of my screen. So as I'm speaking to you guys on the 21st of November, 2025, the United States military, the United States Navy, I guess, has done something quietly. It's not been telling anyone. It's not been, they've not been, Donald Trump's not been on the media saying, we're going to go in there and we're going to do this and we're going to, he's not been doing a George Bush Jr. saying, you can run, but you can't hide. And he's not been doing any of that. It's just been happening. It's just been happening slowly. There's been this slow military buildup. That's what's more scary. That's what's more terrifying. This has been done right. This is the way you do a conflict. But the United States military has been doing something that's not done in Latin America in living memory. Somewhere between 15 and 25%, depending on where you get your information from, of U.S. naval combat power, U.S. naval combat power has been deployed off the coast of Venezuela. Let that number sink in for a second, guys, okay? The United States, let me just throw that out there, all right? Let's give you guys some context. This is South America, and we're talking about the US, which is North America. So the US Air Force is already within striking distance of Venezuela, and that the US Air Force is the world's largest air force. Do you know what the world's second largest air force is? I'll give you a clue, guys. It's not Venezuela. It's the US Navy. So the US Navy now has their second big. So the United States. So the world has their second biggest Navy. Air Force within striking distance. The United States Gerald R. Ford, the most expensive warship ever built, 90,000 tons. 9,000 tons, guys, is steaming in lazy circles 100 miles off the coast of Caracas. Excuse me. With a full air wing of F-35s and Super Hornets, F-A-18 Super Hornets. My favorite aircraft at the moment, guys, the F-A-18 Super Hornet. There's not going to be another one like that. It's a knife fighter. Everybody wanted to go stealth, but the F-A-18 Super Hornet, they said, you know what? We are not going to go stealth. We're going to go fast and we're going to go hard. We're not interested in stealth. The 22nd Marine Expeditionary Unit sitting 7 miles off the coast of Venezuela, courtesy of our friends in Trinidad and Tobago. Nuclear attack submarines we will never be told the names of would probably be ghosting those waters as well. Overhead, we can imagine P-8 Poseidons, RC-135 rivet joints, and E-3 Sentry AWACS drones. Well, AWACS, sorry, that's not a drone. RQ-4 surveillance Global Hawk drones circling above. You guys can imagine the scene, right? You guys can imagine the scene. Since late August, the United States has been sinking boats, not sending warning shots across the bow, literally sinking them. 21 suspected narcotics vessels, 83 bodies in the water, 0 arrests. And look, guys, I'm a military guy. I'm from the military. And I've got to admire that. I've got to admire that. I've got to admire that. That is a country with balls. That's a country right now with balls who do not give a fuck about other people's opinions. They're the United States. They're going to do United States shit. And you know what, guys? I'm all for that. I'm all for the United States being the United States. And I say, America, fuck yeah. So 80, what was it? I think the body total is 83 in the water, 0 arrests. That's not, that's not interdiction anymore. It's kinetic warfare on the seas. Every week, the task force gets bigger. Like we said, the USS Gerald Ford arrived 2 weeks ago. That's when the headlines started screaming in languages from Portuguese to Mandarin. Largest US naval deployment in the Caribbean since the Cuban Missile Crisis. Let's not uncontextualize that the Venezuelans and the Cubans have been asking for Russian support. Right now, the Russians will be looking at that like Deontay Wilder looks at Tyson Fury. I don't want none of that. I don't want none of that shit coming. However, Maduro has responded the only way he knows. He's mobilized hundreds of thousands of people, reservists under something called the Independence Plan 200. You guys can go Google that if you want. State television shows teenagers with AK-47s, AK-74s doing push-ups in the rain. Guys, honestly, go and Google it. Go and look on YouTube. Oh, there's videos on YouTube. And it always when I see these people, look, guys, I'm for. Look, before we get onto this, actually, before I continue with this live stream, this monologue, I want to throw this out there. All right, I think all wars are pointless. They're all pointless. They don't achieve anything. You get winners, you get losers, you get dead, you get rich. I know which of those I'd rather be on. I think as soon as humans can stop fighting each other and start doing space shit, rather than fighting each other, I mean, we can still have that competitivity as humans. As the human race, we can still have that competitivity as the human race. We can absolutely have that competitivity. But rather than doing shooty, blowy, airy strikey, we can be doing asteroidy miney, solar panel sunny, and all that sort of stuff that actually benefits everyone. Anyway, sorry guys. So let me give you, I'm going to try and give you guys the probability stack, the way the smart money in Washington, D.C., Miami are reading it right now. So limited strikes. And then I'll come on to and then I'll give you guys where I think this is going. And I do think this is a lot bigger than people are considering right now. I'll come on to that then. So, excuse me. Limited military strikes, drone cruise missiles, hits on drug laboratories, cartel ports, maybe a few airfields run by Maduro's inner circle that sit in 70 to 80% in the next 2 or 4 weeks. That's what I would say, guys, okay? So those airstrikes, I would say we're looking at a mass airstrike within 2 to 4 weeks. We're looking at a mass air campaign. The legal memos are written that say unmanned systems don't trigger the war. It's the same playbook basically used in Yemen, for example. These drone strikes, they seem not to have that. Well, they don't. They don't have that human element. So it's it's just a drone strike. But you know what? For those people who are sat in that car, who are sat in that laboratory, yeah, it's kind of personal to those people. So full-scale invasion, boots on the ground, US Marines storming the beaches, airports, trying to topple the government in a country 4 times the land area of Iraq and the population that's been armed to the teeth for 25 years. Well, that's still only 20, 20 to, 40% of the Pentagon's own war games. We keep spitting out the same answer. You might take Caracas in 72 hours, but then, the insurgency comes in. So taking Iraq was never the problem. Honestly, guys, like these countries, you know, these stands or these African nations or Venezuela, taking the country is never the problem. It's what comes after. It's holding the country. It's being able to repel that insurgency. That's the real problem, you know. That's the real problem within any conflict. So I do. Sorry, let me continue. So Trump said last week, Maduro's days are. This is what he said, guys, and I quote: Maduro's days. Sorry, that's Clint Eastwood. Maduro's. That's sorry. I'm just going to say it, all right? Last week, Trump said Maduro's days are numbered. When a reporter asked if that included military options, he smiled and he said, "We have a lot of options. We have a lot of beautiful options, the most beautiful options the American people have ever seen." So Trump's not taking anything off the card. So that's where we are tonight, guys, okay? You know, there's the carrier strike. Sorry, there's the carrier strike groups. There's 25% of the U.S. Navy. There's the Royal Marine, not the Royal Marines. The Royal Marines would fail at the first. The Royal Marines wouldn't even make it off the beaches. The U.S. Marines, who are not to be mistaken by the British Royal Marines. And if there's any Royal Marines watching, I don't apologize. You guys are about as tactically competent as Keir Starmer is a politician. So there's a lot of hardware right now, you know, off the coast of Venezuela. And let's not forget that Venezuela is sitting on, I'm going to say it, guys, huge oil. Yeah, I said it. Huge oil reserves. I'm going to jump onto the chat now, guys. I'm then going to close you guys down on TikTok, and then we will continue about Ukraine. Oh, I've not got the chat on. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. I do apologize. I've turned the chat on now. Sorry, guys. I do apologize. Right, let me jump up. Okay, so I'm just jumping down to the bottom of the chat on YouTube, guys, okay? Army will use Call of Duty to train soldiers. Is that a thing, Googleino? Look, back in 20... Do you know what? I could probably go on my Gmail now and find this. Back in 20, in the teens, like maybe 2013, 14, 15, 16, I actually proposed to the MOD rather than use the systems that they use to control drones, to use a PlayStation thing and to use the dexterity that people get on the dexterity people get by playing video games. Karma Creepy Queen is saying, "Hi, Donna." Hello, Donna. Where's Donna? Oh, Donna's there. Breaking news daily. FAA issues terrifying new warning. Oh, guys, it's fucking happening. It's happening. Right. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, okay? I need to be quite clear. I'm going to close you guys down on TikTok in 4 minutes, okay? I make no apologies for that. The algorithm is so restrictive. Closes me down all the time, kicks me in the face, kicks me off the thing. Literally, the other day, I got a restriction. I don't even know why. If I want to drink coffee, I get restricted. So for you guys on TikTok, I am going to be closing you guys down in like 3 minutes now. I'm the Real Raven One on YouTube and the Real Raven One on X. If you want to continue this live stream, I will continue this live stream for like an hour and a half or whatever on YouTube and X. Donna is saying look, guys, it's all happened. Venezuela is going to happen. You know, I've got my phone's there. I've got, it's going to happen. Trust me, guys. I've got a tiny bit of inside information on this. I can't tell you where it's from. Venezuela is going to happen. All right. Venezuela is going to happen. The military built for you guys, this whole video. Joe, I'm going to turn you guys off now, actually. For you guys, this video is for entertainment purposes. Everything I'm saying is fake. It's a fugazi. Nothing's real. Do your own research, and I am going to turn you guys off now. If you want to go over to YouTube and watch the Real Raven one on YouTube and let me talk about other things where I can actually open up and say, Martin Quinn is saying they knock you for being so political correct. Yeah, Martin Quinn, thank you, mate. Yeah, I get restricted all the time on YouTube. I am going to close you guys down now. I'm not going to close you down in 3 minutes, like I said. I'm going to close you guys down now because I want to let people know the information I've got from Venezuela, the potential assets I may or may not have on the ground for entertainment purposes only, of course. So I'm going to close you guys down now, okay? If you want to jump over to you, and I may just have an update from Ukraine as well. A live update from Ukraine. Right. I'm going to close you guys down now. Real Raven One on YouTube if you're going to jump over. If you're not, I'll see you whenever. Tomorrow morning at 10. Right, we're good. Right, listen, guys, there's a lot of information. One of my friends has just gone to, Venezuela, guys, okay? As far as I'm concerned, it's 100%, all right? One of my friends has just been deployed there. Hang on. I may have a Ukraine update. No, I don't. What the fuck's that? Hang on. No idea what that was. So I've got a friend who's actually right now on their way to Venezuela. They're on their way to Venezuela. They've got to go to Colombia because they can't get directly into Venezuela. They're trying to get into Colombia. He asked me if he asked me if I wanted to go with him. I said, listen, mate, I can't, but you know what? I want you to jump on the live stream with me and tell everybody, you guys, what's happening in Venezuela. So I'm hoping that he's going to be able to jump on the chat at some point, or we're going to be able to do a split screen, or he's going to be on as a guest, and we're going to talk about what's happening in Venezuela. So Venezuela, ladies and gentlemen, as far as I'm concerned, the United States military are going to go into Venezuela and they are going to hit that shit like the candy shop. Where's Martin Quinn? Martin Quinn is saying, every time I mention stuff, be political or refugees, the word, yeah, look, guys, all right, we've got like a large following on TikTok, all right? And we're growing the YouTube family, but the TikTokers are, it's so restrictive. I was talking to Sarah the other day and we were saying, you know what, should we just turn the TikTok channel into like a sales channel and I'll just sell bits of shit? I mean, I think that would be better if we just turned the TikTok channel into like a sales channel, because like, I really can't say anything that I can't say anything and I can't give you guys information, and I don't make any money out of that anyway. I don't make any money out of you guys either. The reason I do this is because I want to spread awareness. I don't want kids right now who are leaving school to join the military and be cannon fodder in someone else's war to profit. So some oligarch, and I've got to be very careful what I say now. I don't want British kids going to another country. I don't want British. I don't think you do either. I don't. Do you know what? I'm gonna throw this out there. I don't want anybody, right? I don't want anybody unaliving themselves for someone else's gain, for someone else's profit. I don't. And that is that's unilateral. If you hate me, if you despise everything I say, if you're a, you know, I don't know, if you're a Russian, if you're a Muslim, if you're somebody who's like LGBTQHYZBTFZ, you know, and you want everybody to have blue, I love you. I do. I love you. I want to protect you. I do not want anything bad to happen to you. I want you to live your life to the fullest, and I want you to reach your fullest potential. That's for everyone. I want humans to stop hurting each other, and I want humans to start building spaceships. But that's not where we are right now, guys. That is not where we are right now. We're about to head into a global conflict on an industrial scale. The game's set, the end game is primed, World War III is imminent. So we've got the Venezuela conflict, guys. That's going to happen. I'm speculating 2 to 4 weeks. That's going to happen. You know, that's going to happen. My gut feeling is that there's going to be a heavy airstrikes. Anybody who was in Baghdad 2003, 2003. Anybody who was in Baghdad 2003, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? The heavy airstrikes. You ain't got no answer for that shit. You know, Allah is not going to, like, you know, Allah is not going to protect you against the airstrikes. I promise you guys, all right? Maybe you think that praying 5 times a day is going to protect, historical fact. This is historical fact, guys, okay? The Iraqis who were praying 5 times a day, they were praying 5 times a day. You know, the coalition led by the United States, they were closing in, they were getting closer and closer. You know, the US warships, they were stationed in Oman. They were just on the US naval strike groups. You know, they were stationed close. And the Iraqis, the Muslims, they were praying 5 times a day. They were doing all their shit. How much did that protect those guys? Like, where's your, like, if you're religious and look, guys, I welcome all religions, but it's a serious question, all right? If you pray 5 times a day, right, and you know that, I don't know what you do, whatever, you know, and you know that Allah is going to protect you, how do you explain to people that, right, what it was, right, in Iraq 2003, right, everybody was praying 5 times a day, right, but because they weren't praying hard enough, they didn't really believe it was their fault. It was the Iraqis' fault because they didn't believe when they was praying. You know, when those F-35s come in and there's F-18s and those F-22s and there's B-2 stealths, where's Allah striking them down with like a lightning bolt? And I mean, no disrespect to anyone who's Muslim. It's a serious question, all right? You guys pray 5 times a day for protection. In 2003, when the United States did, I think it was like 5 days of 24-hour bombing, and that was phenomenal. Like, and I don't mean to be like disrespectful to anyone, but like the air power that went in, it was fucking unbelievable. Why didn't Allah, your great protector, why didn't he put like the golden shield over Iraq or over Baghdad and say, I will protect all the Iraqis because you're good Muslims? Why didn't he do that? It's a serious question. If anybody can give me an answer, I would love to debate that. But yeah, so Venezuela looks like it's going to swizzle, guys. Venezuela looks like it's going. I've got a friend who's out there. He may have I'm just going to text him now. So he's got to go to Colombia because he can't get into Venezuela. He's then going to make his way over the border into Venezuela. Right. Venezuela, guys, okay? We are done swizzle in Venezuela, right? I will come back to that afterwards. I want to talk about Ukraine now for a second. So there's been... Do you know what? I'm not going to talk about Ukraine. I'm going to jump onto the chat because you guys have been blasting the chat, okay? Googly is saying because Islam, the Islamic God doesn't exist. Stephen, that Winslayer is saying because Islam is the devil. Look, guys, I'm just repeating what I'm saying. Belfast is talking about Martin Quinn. Look up the prime age of disclosure. We've got... I want to know why 50 countries who don't agree with nothing, but they all agreed with the Antarctica. Yes. Right. Stephen, I've got a lot of stuff to get through tonight, but can you please talk about Antarctica later? I love talking about Antarctica. Like, it sends me down, like it... Stephen, were you in the Falklands by any chance? So, Stephen, talk to me about the Falklands afterwards, okay? Sorry, talk to me about Antarctica afterwards. Hang on, let me jump up. Sean, what made you leave the army? Money. Straight away, money. So I was getting paid in the military, and and getting paid in the military is relatively low. One of my mates who left the military, he bought a... I went to see him, and I think I just got a loan, and I bought my I love Toyotas, guys. I love Toyotas. I had an MR2, and I just bought a Supra. So it was the 3-liter twin turbo, the GZ with the aero top. It had the full leather interior as well, front and back. It took me about 6 months to actually find it. I can give you the registration if you want. So I went to see my friends in Liverpool, and one of my friends, he just got an apartment on the Wapping Dock, which is where all the celebrities are, and they were on pop stars' wages. And I was saying, oh yeah, I've just got this loan for this car, for this Toyota Supra. And my other mate came out and he's like, yeah, I've just bought a TVR Cerbera. Yeah, I just bought it straight out. I just paid for it. And I was thinking, like, why am I doing the same job? Why am I doing the same job and getting paid like a tenth of what like a contractor gets paid? So money. If you want to give me the answer, money. Money is why I left the army. Martin Quinn says, start talking about spaceships. Weird things happen when you put videos on Twitter. I got people ringing me up for about it. My number. Oh, that's weird. Donna Prepper. Has Donna changed their name? Oh, Donna's changed their name to Donna Prepper. Donna Prepper. That sounds like a pizza. But Donna Prepper, where are you in the United Kingdom? Could we do a collaboration? Donna, I've not looked at your channel. Listen, guys, I'm just throwing this out there. Donna. I don't know if you've got like a channel where you do prepping videos on. I've not actually looked at your channel, but if you do like prepping videos and you're relatively close, let me know where you are and maybe we can collaborate or something. I mean, you're certainly welcome. Comma Creepy Queen is saying, I got my dog's raw feed. I didn't know if it's tried. Okay, right. Listen, I'm just going to put this out there, right? The other day, we was in, me and Sarah walking around Lidl, right? We're walking around Lidl. Because it was Monday, actually. On a Monday, we do this little round, and we go to two, like, cash and carries. We go to two cash and carries that take cards, so it's not a cash and carry, but whatever. we go to these 2 cash and carries that sell like discount food and like, you know, food that's I sell by day. We always like whatever we can buy, we'll buy and put it in the freezer. We then come back to another discount food shop, and then whatever we've not got for the week, we go to Lidl. And we was in Lidl, right? You guys are gonna know how fucking awesome I am in a minute, right? I picked up some beef savory snacks that I thought was beef jerky, right? I thought it was beef jerky. We got in the car. I said, Sarah, pass me that beef jerky. So she passed it me, and I started eating. And I ate the whole bag, right? And then Sarah, she says to me, she says, Sean, what was that beef jerky like? I said, I'm not going to lie, it weren't the best. And she starts laughing, right? I'd only been eating fucking dog food, right? I'd only been eating dog food. But look, it wasn't that bad, all right? It wasn't that bad. I'm not going to say that I'd turn it down if I was offered it again. But look, guys, I'm so fucking rock and roll. I am. I'm so rock and roll. I was in, I was telling you, one of the girls earlier, I can't remember the conversation, how it came about, but, you know, I was talking about, like, you know, you girls don't know how easy you guys have it. And I was talking about this, I was in Ukraine in, I don't know when it was, really bad winter. And me and my interpreter, we had nothing. We was in this like massive Baroque mansion. It was like a huge Baroque mansion that had been ransacked by the Russians. We were in there and we had no food. We had a sauna or a banya. We had like 7 bedrooms. We had a games room. We had no food. Kind of what you want. Anyway, we'd not eaten for 2 days. And my interpreter, Zhenya, I'm going to try and find out I'm going to try and get Zhenya on the livecast. And I said to Zhenya, Zhenya, we need some food, mate. I don't fucking speak fluent Ukrainian. You do. You need to go and find us some food. He's like, but Sean, everywhere is closed. It's fucking war zone. I said, Zhenya, stop giving me your excuses. We're going to die if we don't eat. There's only so much snow we can turn into water. He's like, okay, right, anyway. So he came back later and he said, Sean, I can only have these. And he had these 2 eggs, literally 2 eggs. They were like, you know, the white eggs. I don't know. They were white. I don't know what that means. I said, right, Zhenya. I said, we've got 2 options here. We can crack these and do them in a smoothie, or we're in a Baroque mansion, all right? We can set the table, we can bring the chairs out, and we can have a full dinner. He said, yes, of course. So we had a full candlelit dinner, just me and Zhenya. It was totally broke back, guys. It was like hyper broke back. But it was that bad. We couldn't get the central heating system to work, so we had to go into the sauna, and we had to put wood on the sauna, and the wood that we were putting on the sauna was like broken down ammo crates and stuff. Right, I want to find out what Donna's channel is. Can somebody tell me has Donna's channel got a prepper thing? Guys, there's lots of people commenting. I don't know where she is. I don't know where Donna's posted. Sorry, guys. Wrong comment. Karma Creepy Queen again is saying, my mum did that to my dad when we lived in Spain. For months, she thought she was buying tins of butter beans until my nanny asked her what she was buying. It was cat food. Yeah, look, guys, I'm just saying, all right? Look, guys, I'm just saying, beef jerky. I love beef jerky. I do. I might make some tomorrow. Do you know what? I'm going to make some tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to make some beef jerky tomorrow. And because I'm on YouTube now that's not totally gay, I can show you guys how I make beef jerky. And it's totally fucking awesome. So I'm going to make some beef jerky tomorrow. If you don't like beef jerky, you're probably gay. I'm just saying, guys. If you don't like beef jerky, you're probably homosexual. Right, look, guys, I'm sorry. I'm totally on a side quest here. I'm thinking, should I get a car? Do you know what? I'm going to get myself a carbonated drink. Oh. Oh, we can do it here. Ah, it's fucking slow. It's slow. Right, hang on, guys. Listen. I'm gonna have to put some gas into this. So now I've got my gas. I've got gas. That'll do. Right, where are we? Jesus Christ, I'm gonna have to get that replenished. I hope this doesn't blast out now. Right, let's see how this works. This is either going to go really good or it's just going to go everywhere. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Can you see the clarity in that, guys? Can you see the clarity? Let me jump up, guys, and get some of these comments. Yes, please show us. I want to make beef jerky. Beef jerky is fantastic, guys. It really is. Biltong beef is nicer. So beef jerky is like strips, and biltong is like the piece that you slice. Oh, and Donna Prepper says, Sean, I haven't started it yet. Donna, start it. I will certainly share your stuff. You know, I will share your stuff. And come on, and we'll talk about stuff. You know, that's how we grow. That's how we grow. That's how we grow and build channels. Right. Look, guys, I know there's. Oh, hang on a minute. 2 hours ago, Starmer demands investigation into reform. Yeah, it's disgusting, guys. It's disgusting. Look, ladies and gentlemen, all right, before I get on to this, before I continue with this live stream, all right, I was a member of Reform. I was standing in the last election as a candidate for the last election. I resigned like just after the election had been called, because I looked at Reform as an organization. Let me be clear, this was before Nigel Farage took leadership. This guy, the Welsh guy, taking money off Russia to pump pro-Russian propaganda. I mean, I think he should be. I think, for me, this is my personal opinion, I think treason should still hold the death penalty. I really do, guys, and I don't really believe in the death penalty. But do you know what? I'm gonna cancel that. I think treason should have life in jail. If you want to live in this country and take all the opportunities. And I fucking get it. I get it. Right now we're up shit creek. Do not lose faith. Do not lose faith, because Gen Z are growing. Gen Z are our secret weapon. Gen Z, honestly, guys, like, when people, I go off on a massive tangent when people say, oh, these young kids, they're not going to be able. I'm like, go fuck yourself. If you think Gen Z are not growing up into monsters, into absolute beasts, then you are very much mistaken. You are very much mistaken. Gen Z are going to be the saviors of the British Empire. Literally, I should put that on a t-shirt. Gen Z will save the British. You know, we need to start communicating that. Gen Z, look, guys, I'm all for Gen Z. All the other generations, and you know, someone was saying, oh, Gen X is the best generation. You know, we had Gen X. You know, Gen X was fantastic. I'm like, Gen X, Generation X, you are the guys who are taking drugs, you are taking X, you were at the parties, you know, you didn't give a shit. You are letting the migrants in. Generation X made this shit happen. Gen Z are going to deal with it. Right, let me go on to Ukraine real quick, guys. Let me go on to Ukraine. Right, okay, so alas, do you know, I've got there's no chance I'm going to get through everything tonight, guys. Do you know what? I am going, because of you guys, because you guys are fantastic. You guys are by far the best looking commenters on any YouTube channel. I mean, I've been watching BB Audits. Look, and I've got no disrespect to those guys on BB Audits or AY Audits. I think they're all going to go to prison at some point. You know, it's just the reality. I think Shas minut, budь lāska. Ukraine, the 28-point deal. We're going to talk about this now, guys. Okay, so 28 points that, if signed, would redraw the map of Europe. It would reward Vladimir Putin for 3 years of slaughter and basically tell everyone, would basically tell every dictator on the planet, start a war, hold some ground, and eventually the West will say, yeah, it's okay. It's bullshit, guys. Look, and I do feel strongly about this, and I am biased, massively biased, all right? I am massively biased. You guys know I've got friends in Ukraine who I consider family. How would you feel, right? How would you, whatever country you're in right now, how would you feel if, fuck that, right? How would you feel if somebody came and took part of your garden and you had to give it them? You'd be like, well, hang on a minute, I paid for that garden. And they say, yeah, well, you know, now these guys are taking your garden. It's their garden now. At some point, like I always say, war should be avoided at all costs. All costs, war should be avoided. They don't achieve anything. Ultimately, 10 years after this war is over, 10 years after the war in Ukraine is over, everything will be back to normal. You're like, what the fuck? What just happened? If you find yourself in a war, you've got to win it at all costs, guys. Whether that is at local level, whether that's at personal level, whether that is at diplomatic level, whether that's at whatever level you find yourself in a war, in a conflict, whichever side of the spectrum you're on, whether you're a liberal and you want, and you want mosques everywhere, whether you're a hard right Tommy Robinson supporter. Do you know what? I wouldn't even class Tommy Robinson as hard right. I wouldn't even class Tommy Robinson's hard right. Whether you're like a hard right, I've got so much stuff I want to say right now, but I can't. Whichever side of the spectrum you're on, right? I think it's fair to say if you find yourself in a conflict, you need to win it. Whether that's the chip shop man at the end of the road's not giving you your penny back, get that fucking penny because that's yours. Or whether Vladimir Putin's threatening to send nuclear submarines to Venezuela, you need to deal with that shit at all costs. So I am biased when I'm talking about Ukraine. I am. I make no apologies for it. So they're calling it. They are, guys. They're calling it the 28-point plan for Ukraine. I'm just going to read to you from the highlight, straight from the draft that's now, leaking everywhere. No spin. I'm just going to give you the hard cold text, guys. Okay. So, and guess what? There's 28 of them. So I'm just going to go through this as quickly as possible. All right. I'll try not to. Although I'm probably lying to myself. I know for a fact I'm lying to myself. I'm going to try as best as I can to rattle through these as quickly as possible. Okay, so point 1 through 4: Ukraine permanently gives up Crimea and the entirety of the Donetsk and Luhansk to Russia forever. Not a lease, not a referendum, just gone. So that means basically for Ukraine, or for you guys, your garden's gone. Your garden, maybe your pool, maybe your decking area, it's just fucking gone. Somebody else has come in because they're bigger than you, because they're stronger than you, they've taken it. So that would be Crimea, Donetsk, and Luhansk gone. Points 5 to 8. The front line in Kherson, Zaporizhia are frozen. Exactly where Russian boots are standing today. Whatever villages they have overrun last week, that is now Russian. And again, listen, this makes for the Russians, it's getting fucking cold. God, it's cold. The Russians are moving forwards every day, so it doesn't really matter for the Russians because they're moving forwards every day. Point 9, excuse me, the Ukrainian army gets slashed from 880,000, which it is today. Bear in mind, guys, our military in the United Kingdom is like, what, 80,000 or something? Like, no, it's 74,000. So the Ukrainian point 9, the Ukrainian army gets slashed from 880,000 to 600,000 permanently, while Russia keeps its million-plus army or whatever it is. Point 10, NATO membership for Ukraine, done, finished, over, never going to happen. Ukraine NATO membership is over. Point 11, no NATO troops, no NATO bases, no NATO anything inside Ukraine ever. So straight away, this is never going to happen. Okay, it's never going to happen. All right. Point 12, in exchange for all that, the United States promises, some sort of a piece of paper, basically, a NATO-style security guarantee that if Putin attacks again, America will coordinate a decisive response, but 0 US troops are committed. It's bullshit, guys. Look, I'll be quite clear. I am biased. I'm going to throw that out there. I'm pro-Ukraine. I've got a lot of friends who are Ukrainian. I've got friends who I consider family Ukrainian. Point 13 through to 17. And this is the sugar for Moscow, guys, okay? Russia gets invited back to the G8. Sanctions are peeled away one by one. Arms controls treaty is extended. A shiny new non-aggressive pact. Basically, welcome back to polite society. No apology required. This Point 20 to 22. Russia becomes an official state language inside Ukraine. You can't make these things up, guys. You can't make these things up. Point 23. The Moscow-controlled branch of the Orthodox Church gets official status in a country that just banned it from being a Kremlin front. So that's basically like, if you're in the United Kingdom, that would be like saying... a new religion has to be in your country. And that for me is a big one, guys, because I do feel a calling back to Christianity. I'm not going to lie. I really feel, I don't know where I am. And I don't know the words I can say to this. And I don't know how I can explain this. But I feel a calling. And even now, the hairs on my arms are sticking up. Right now, I feel a calling to Christianity, but not this woke, you can come in and graffiti on our fucking cathedrals Christianity. I'm talking about I'm talking about the hard, strong, strength Christianity. That's what I'm talking about. That's where I feel like a calling to right now. And look, like, guys, let's just be clear, right? If I was to be baptized, if I was to go to a minister, to go to a church, the day that I was baptized, Christianity would become stronger. At that point in history, it may even be marked in the history books in years to come, but at that point, Christianity would become a whole lot stronger. Point 23, Moscow-controlled branch of... Yeah, I've just said that. And the Czech... Oh, guys, wow. Sorry. And the cherry on the top, point 20... So the rest of the points, hundreds of billions of frozen US assets... Sorry, Russian assets, sorry. So billions of dollars in frozen Russian assets that are in Europe would be going back to the United States. I don't even know how this makes sense, guys. I really don't know how this makes sense. So Zelensky was handed this document by a mid-level Trump envoy while Russian artillery was still falling on Kharkiv. He's been given at least a count less than a week. I think they've got to respond by Thursday. So we're all fucking hell's gonna break loose, guys, by Thursday. Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching the live stream right now, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow. And if you're on YouTube and you've not followed or subscribed, why not? I tell you what's happening way before it's happening. Imagine next week, right? We're going to have the budget, Zelensky refusing the peace deal, and Stranger Things. And I hope everybody's got the Christmas trees up. So while Europe is panicking, Germany, France, Britain are frantically writing a counter proposal. Even some Republican senators are whispering, what the hell is this? Look, I'm not here to tell you about Donald Trump. I'm here to tell you what has just happened. A document with 28 bullet points that has just asked Ukraine to literally dismember themselves in exchange for a promise by people who have already broken their promises. It's bullshit, guys. It's absolutely bullshit. It's not peace through strength. It's peace through surrender. And as far as I'm concerned, guys, you should always try to win that war, regardless what the cost. Yes, of course, some battles you need to retreat, some battles you can't win, but ultimately you need to keep that war. If you surrender, you're surrendering everything. And there's a lot, thousands, people are saying millions. I don't know the actual numbers. Nobody knows the actual numbers. Lots of young Ukrainian men have given their lives to protect that land. I don't think we should dishonor that. And I welcome And I do indeed welcome anybody's counter opinion to that, guys. And I really, do you know what? I don't just welcome, I encourage counter opinions. Maybe you're in the United Kingdom and you think, do you know what? Here in the United Kingdom, we need to deal with our own borders first. I agree with you. I do. I agree with you. But just because I agree with you doesn't mean I don't agree with the other causes as well. I don't know where we're going, but I do know one thing. We are heading for an absolute swizzle. World War III, World War IV, they're both going to be equally as... Do you know what? I think World War IV is actually going to be more devastating. When I talk about World War III, yes, I do. I've had far too much... what is it? What have I been drinking? Cider. I picked those apples myself. Do you know how difficult it is to make cider yourself? It's an absolute swizzle. I had to buy an apple crusher that was like 90 quid. And I had to put 100 kilos. Anyway, let's not worry about my apples, ladies and gentlemen, because there will be plenty of grapes to be given. What I'm talking about right now, ladies and gentlemen, is World War III and World War IV happening simultaneously. World War III is the international conflicts, guns, bombs, tanks, planes, trains, automobiles, infantry, artillery, airstrikes, air defense, satellites, long-range laser strikes. All that shit is World War III. World War IV is what's happening on the streets. You know the gangs. You guys know the gang that I'm talking about, right? The gangs that we're not allowed to talk about because we get like demonetized and stuff. You know the gangs, the special gangs that prey on a certain type of young lady. Right, I'm going to get on the chat, guys. I'm going to go, let me close that down. Close that one. Guys, honestly, I've got so much to get through tonight. I've got so much to get through. I think I may need to go for a little wee. Does this Stefan M1 link... Stefan M1 link, is that you in the... Stefan M1 link, is that you in the picture? Because you have got a fine body. And I'm not getting broke back. I'm not going broke back, Stefan. I'm just saying you look absolutely shredded. Stefan, how many pull-ups can you do, mate? How many pull-ups can you do? I did 20 the other day in the gym in Awana. Lisa Jane is saying, BBC News 3 hours ago, at least 4 military jets were flown into Venezuela coast. Flight tracking shows. It's all going to happen, guys. I promise you. Venezuela is 100%. You know when I told you guys... You know when I told you guys that Pokrovsk in Ukraine was going to fall? And no mainstream media was talking about it. Nobody was talking about it. I said, listen, guys, I've just heard. You guys know, right? You're on the live stream. I was on the live stream and I said, listen, I've just got a message from a friend who he's very well connected. And he said, yeah, Sean, Pokrovsk has already gone, mate. There's no way we can hold there's no way the Ukrainians can hold it. Pokrovsk has gone. It's done. And I said to you guys, and then Pokrovsk, I think as we speak now, is like 50% overrun, which means it's 100% overrun. I'm hearing from another friend who's somewhere out there, guys. You know, they're somewhere out there in that South American region. And they're telling me that the U.S. military intervention into Venezuela is going to happen. It's going to happen. You're going to see boots on the ground. So let's just leave it there for now. And then let's... Donna is saying people who don't immediate updates about Venezuela watch my NY preppers. Okay, right. Okay, so Donna's saying NY prepper he's going all day. Right, hang on. What's going on here in the chat? What's going on in the chat here? Band again is saying World War IV is the liberation of Great Britain from the desert cult. So that's a fantastic way of putting it. Let me just jump up. Coach the news reporter is saying, I will turn down the deal. I would turn down that deal as well. I would turn down the deal. Oh, Stefan is saying, I would actually date you. Right, Stefan, be honest. Right, Stefan. Right, we may be doing full bumming here, guys. We may be going full broke back. Right, Stefan, how many pull-ups can you do in a wanna? I don't mean kipping pull-ups where you roll like a little bitch. I mean actual, like, and you know, I when I'm doing pull-ups, I like, if you straighten your arms when you're doing pull-ups, like, so just for you, just for context, all right, and I don't mean to be gay. I'm not being gay. I'm totally not gay. I'm totally hetero, right? When I was in Baghdad and I was in like as a security consultant, I was the primary bodyguard. So what that meant is I needed to get out of the vehicle before my client, which was either the ambassador or somebody. So hang on, which side do you drive on? Well, I know because it's my shoulder. So it's that one. So what I used to do is when you're driving into an alpha. So the way bodyguards work, I spent a lot of time as a bodyguard, like a diplomatic one as well, not like a little shitty like Brad Pitt bodyguard. So as you're driving into those buildings, the bodyguard or the security operator that's in the vehicle with the primary client or the principal, as you want to call it, because the client would be the person who's paying you, and it's not always the same person. So they crack their door. So as the vehicle's still moving, I would crack my door with my right arm there, and I'd do that. And these armored doors are really fucking heavy, guys. They are. They're like maybe like 100 kilos because they're bulletproof. So I'd crack the door with my shoulder because I've got fucking awesome shoulders. I'd crack the door. I then stand. I get my legs out the vehicle, and as soon as the vehicle got to a speed where I thought I could walk, I would jump out. So now, while the vehicle's still moving, I'm out of the vehicle. I've got my pistol, I've got my M4, and I'm ready to rock. I would then move to the back and just walk by the rear door of the vehicle. I would then walk until the vehicle came to a stop. I would then control that door. You know, I've got my M4, I've got my fucking Glock. I'm ready to rock. Doing that on the doors, I gave both my arm a work-related injury. So I've got like problems in my shoulder, and I've got problems in my mouth. I'm not being gay about it. All I'm saying is, the reason I'm saying this is when I'm doing pull-ups, if I straighten my arms fully, it really irritates that injury. So when I'm doing pull-ups, and guys, I'm up to doing 20 pull-ups in a wanna. How many of you guys can say you can do 20 pull-ups in a wanna? And I'm 43, guys, all right? I'm 43. Show me your knee. I'm as badass as anyone's ever going to be. I don't even know what I was going about there, guys. Honestly, I've just totally gone off on a tangent there. The Watcher is saying, gay! Listen, the Watcher, it'd be very difficult to argue with you. Very difficult to argue with you. Absolute gay. Absolute gay. Nothing, listen, guys, it's only gay. It's only gay if it's only gay if the door's closed. That was the rule. That was what you used to say in the military. It's only gay if the door's locked. Everybody's calling me gay now. I'm getting some right homosexual abuse. Oh God, these comments. Right. Right. Danny Tomo has been right. Listen, I'm gonna run to the toilet. I'm gonna have a wee. This live stream ain't ending anytime soon. I promise you guys. I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6 more pages to go through. Right. I'm gonna go for a wee. I'll be less than a minute. Give me a second, and I'll be back to Beckend. God, it's cold out there, guys. It is absolutely freezing outside. What's the temperature? Who goes out in this temperature? Cannot get weather updates. Hang on. Right, let me jump down. Let me jump down, guys. Let me jump down. Right, look. So as we know, and I think it's a fantastic thing. I think it's a fantastic thing. The guys are going out to France to stop migrants coming over to the United Kingdom. I think it's a fantastic thing. I just want to be very. Look. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a standalone video. I am going to do a standalone video on this, and I hope of look, guys. I'm going to do a standalone video on this, and I hope as many of you guys as you can share this with that. What's his name? Danny Tomo. Those guys need to be careful. Those guys need to be really careful. They need to. They need to go out there. They don't want to take their own phones. They need to take burner phones that don't have access to the internet. They need to keep them turned off with the batteries out. They need to make sure that on their person at all times, they are carrying their passport, some sort of communication device, like a charger, basically an urban survival kit, because I think the French government are going to come down on those people more draconianly than they come down on the actual immigrants. They're not immigrants, are the guys? They're not immigrants. And the people that are coming into the United Kingdom. Right, look, guys, there's all sorts of stuff going on at the moment, right? I'm just going to run through these articles real quick. I'm going to run through them because I'm just conscious of the time. Right, so we just spoke about Ukraine. I'm going to give you a statement now from Zelensky. Zelensky says, we are living through one of the most difficult moments in our history. Right now, Ukraine may face a very tough choice. Either the loss of dignity or the risk of losing a key partner. Either a 28-point plan or an extremely harsh winter, the harshest one. And further risks ahead. A life without freedom, dignity and justice, and being forced to trust someone who has already attacked us twice. They will be waiting for our answer. What would you do in that situation, guys? Like, I'm not a big fan of Zelensky. I'm really not. I don't, call me a broist. Call me a broist. I only have time for guys that are like 5'10" or above. 5'10" or above. Do you know what? Fuck it. 6 foot, or I only deal with 6 foot or above. If somebody comes to me and I'm in a meeting with them and they're like less than 6 foot, fine. If you're like really small, look, guys, I'm being sizist, all right? I'm being sizist. I just question your credibility. Of course, you get the guys who go to CrossFit and they're beasts, and I will take those on board. I'll be like, yeah, you're a fucking beast. I will fucking absolutely 100% support you. But he doesn't like Zelensky's coming out, guys, and he's saying, no way, Bob, we ain't fucking doing this. Also, not in the United Kingdom. Right, I've got a video to share with you guys, actually. I want to share this. Right, we are going to be jumping all over the place now, guys, all right? I'm just conscious of the time. I've got a lot of stuff that I want to get through to you guys. The United States are about to go through a grooming gangs scandal. My opinion, my speculation, and my analysis. So I'm going to share this with you right now.
You retired from the Plano Police Department after 26 years of full-time law enforcement service, and I've dealt with representatives of EPIC many times when I was the sergeant for the Plano Police Department, the training sergeant for the Plano PD. There seems to be a general misunderstanding that we're talking about a plan to build an Islamic Sharia-friendly community. The Epic neighborhood already exists in Plano. It's been there for nearly 12 years. 74 residential properties.
Sharia law is already in the United States. Sharia law has been there for 12 years, as what this gentleman is saying. Right, guys, you guys on the chat, can you put in the comments? Are grooming gangs a problem inherently in the United Kingdom, or are grooming gangs a problem within Islamic communities? So what is it, guys? What do you think? If you think it's Islamic communities, then 100% grooming gangs are operating in America. And you guys in America, you guys need, if that's the case, you guys in America need to brace for what's about to be upon you.
A massive mosque, schools, a medical clinic, and multiple businesses. It also has an office of an Islamic financing institution called the UIF Corporation. The UIF Corporation is not a bank. It's a Michigan-based corporation whose publicly stated purpose is to, quote, engage in financial transactions that are Sharia compliant, end quote. Those are their words, not mine.
So we've got a bank now in Texas that will only serve Muslims.
Local government officials south of here have known for years that only Muslims can purchase homes inside that neighborhood. You have to be a member of their mosque to live there. The first house built in that neighborhood was built right next to the Plano Police Academy. It's a huge structure with two separate front doors. The rear of the property is just a few feet from a large outdoor warning siren. The house has a large second-story platform overlooking the restricted access parking lot where the police department stored specialized vehicles such as bomb trucks, bomb disposal equipment, and the SWAT team's armored vehicle. I am a court-recognized expert in SWAT team tactics and procedures.
Just, I don't know if you can hear this, guys, but just please pin your ears up when he says this.
That house has all the hallmarks of a fortress and a command post. The rear of the house looks a lot like an observation post.
So what he's saying there is the Islamists or the Muslims in America, right next door to in Texas to a police training facility, they have built a Muslim facility, and that Muslim facility overlooks all their training. We'll continue, and then I'll give context afterwards.
A shooting platform. Why would somebody choose to build a house so close to a giant warning siren and a police training site? Why would someone build a huge platform overlooking all those specialized police emergency vehicles? The first owner of that house is a leader in the Epic neighborhood, and he is also the co-founder of the Yaqeen Institute for Islamic Research. And I urge everyone to visit their website and read what it has to say about instituting Sharia law. This is not a matter of radicals hiding in plain sight. They're not hiding. They've been open about their beliefs and their intent. Local government decision makers have failed to ask hard questions for fear of negative publicity and being labeled as bigots. I'm not here to spread innuendo or to make unfounded accusations. I'm asking everyone to simply look at the evidence and the confirmed facts that are already in existence.
I'm going to add one more onto that from the people of Texas. I love Texas, guys. I've got I've got some really good friends who live who are Texans, and I've got some friends who are ex-British military who now live in Texas. Texas is great. I think if you live in Texas right now, you really need to look at what's happening in the United Kingdom and how bad things can really get, guys. You know, how bad things can really get in the United Kingdom. Right. No particular order. So you guys have heard me talk about, you know what, I've talked about this. I've spoke about this a few times. You know how, like, Muslims, they're a very peculiar breed of people, aren't they? They're a very peculiar breed of people. I've spoke about this a few times, how, like, if I get angry with someone, I'm like, do you want to go, bro? Do you want to go? I'll put my arms out and say, right, bro, do you want to go? Do you want to go? Do you want a shot at the title? Do you want to go with Raven? Look at my hair. Look at my teeth. Look at my beautiful blue eyes. You ain't going nowhere but the candy shop. That's what I'll say. That's how I go with someone if they step on my toe or something, or they cut me up in the traffic. However, right, I'm going to share with you guys this. I'm just going to share this and let you guys. I'm going to let you guys tell me what you think. All right, I'm going to let you guys tell me what you think rather than what I think. I know I've shared this before.
Get out, you.
So let me give context. All right. First of all, I don't know what the context is. I don't know what the context is. But what I can see is a heavy goods vehicle has taken the wrong road and they're in Bradford, and a load of the local Bradfordians have come out. Now, what I want you guys to do is listen to what they're shouting in the background. Listen to what they're... I'm so angry. Oh, I'm so angry. Come on, bro. Do you want to go with me? I'll go with you. Let's go one-on-one. Do you want to go one-on-one? That's how I'd go. That's how the Raven will go. Do you want to go one-on-one? Do you want to throw that smoky gun wagon? That's what I would say. Let's see what the Muslims in Bradford say when they're really angry. You know the first thing they say? You know the first thing that people say when they're angry and they're not candid? Let's just, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be. Let's see what it is.
Motherfucker. Whoa. Fucking hell.
So I think this vehicle here, this, what is it, Range Rover Sport, parked in his way. And I think if this Range Rover Sport moved out the way, he'd be fine. But listen, guys, listen to what they're saying.
Smashed all the cars.
Shaggy's sister. I'll Shaggy's sister. All right. I mean, maybe you're gonna have to buy a seafood platter first. Maybe you're gonna have to take her for a drink. You know, maybe even a pizza.
Shaggy's mom.
Shaggy's mum. So first of all, he's saying Shaggy's sister, Shaggy's mum. All right, fair enough, right? So you're gonna take it. What I'm assuming right now, guys, as a Western man, is that these Muslim gentlemen are offering to take his sister. I don't know if he has a sister. To take his sister out for a seafood platter. You know, maybe those what do they do? Mussels in white wine sauce and some bread or something like that. You know, that's for the sister. You know, and then maybe Shaggy's mum. I don't know. Maybe you're going to take his. Maybe your mum's not married. Maybe she's not interested. But let's assume she is single. You know, maybe you're going to take her mum out for a steak at like Groucho's or something. And, you know, you're going to show her a really good night. You're going to woo her. You're going to be dancing. You're going to be doing the Raven dance. And then you're going to do the deed at the end of the night. That's what I'm assuming anyway. That's what I'm assuming they're saying. But let's just continue because they're saying, well, I want to shag his mum. I want to shag his sister.
What son of a whore, rape his sister.
Oh, now they've totally changed their mind. Now they're saying, son of a whore, rape his sister. Son of a whore man, rape his sister. Rape his sister. So now they've changed from shag his sister to rape his sister. Now those two things are totally different. Now, shagging his sister is totally fine, you know, if she wants to go out to a date with a gentleman from Bradford, absolutely fine. I actually welcome that. Now what he's saying is rape his sister. All right, let's see what else they say.
PNG. Oi, ship son of a bitch.
So you can see, you guys can understand, right? When people are angry, when somebody's angry and their first reaction is to rape your mum, rape your sister, it's phenomenal, right? Listen, it's phenomenal. It is phenomenal. It is phenomenal. When you drive through Bradford, why do they cut you up, pull out on you, no indicators, lick your bumper while snapping to the other side? Right, Stefan, I can't keep getting your picture up because your body is so fantastic. Hey, guys, Stefan, is there any single girls here who want to message Stefan? Because he is a beast. He's a beast. Stefan's a beast. Right, I've got so much to get through, guys. Look, ladies and gentlemen, right, if like, I get accused of being like racist and stuff. Like, I love, like, when I go to the Middle East, like the real, is it the real Middle East? Like Dubai. I've got, you know, probably not Dubai. Forget Dubai. I lived in Baghdad for 5 years. I lived in Syria for a year. Well, I didn't live in Syria for years. I lived, between Syria and Erbil for a year, you know, and all my experience of that has been positive. It's been positive. I speak Arabic, you know, I can, and I like that culture. I don't know what happens when that culture comes to the United Kingdom. It just goes absolutely wild. It does. It goes absolutely wild. Right. We have got another video now from Tommy Robinson, and I've not seen this. This is just a video that Tommy Robinson shared. Guys, I know I'm running through this real quick because I'm just conscious of the time.
Because these bastards here, you know, dickhead like you.
Right, so I'm going to caveat this. I've not seen this video.
Who sticks off these dirty bastards? Well, why are you letting us shift?
How old is that police officer? Like, really? How old is that police officer?
Why are you shifting them out one way, taking back on the boats? Yes, lad, and I'm the same dead this week.
Really?
In with Marines, because these bastards here have let these bastards stay in the hotels. We're not offending, you can't be like, we've got so, there's women and children about it. So you can fuck off over there. Go play with your cock over there, mate.
Okay, so the lady explains about a 20-year-old homeless found unalive in a shop door. This is the stuff that fucking does me, guys. This is the stuff that will drive me to extremism. I'm quite a long way from that at the moment. But when we see, let me just turn. Give me a second. But when we see and when we are around this sort of stuff, it drives people to great and terrible things in equal measures.
Yeah. What was the problem with doing well, can you move? Can you move? Well, I can move. Come over here, lads. Come here, lads. I'll talk you over here away from that dickhead of a pig.
So what happened with the...
First of all, I don't think people should call the police pigs. I don't. It's very derogatory. I mean, say what you want, but let's just keep things polite. Let's keep things courteous. Whether you want to like cause a war and have a UN resolution on something, and you want to go hell and fury, there's no excuse to not be polite. I don't think there is, guys. I think in every walk of life, even if you absolutely hate someone and hate everything they stand for, I don't think there's a scenario where it gives you the right or the applicability to be rude. I don't think anybody should ever be rude at any point of their life, ever.
homeless person.
The homeless person was found dead in with Marines on the doorstep, outside the doorstep shop this week because he can't get in his hotel no more. Before these lot come here, this belonged to the homeless people.
Did it? Is that where the homeless used to live?
This is where the homeless live. They give the homeless all their money back and kick them out for these bastards.
Wow.
Wow, you know that.
You know, you lot are all there as well.
Yeah. They're our pals. They're coming down soon. Yeah,
We're not with the traitors over there.
They're going to have the 2 minute silence at 12.
Yeah, we're YouTubers and that, just covering this. I argue with these lot all the time.
I fucking hate them. I really fucking hate them.
They think the whole world, we need to save it for some reason.
Whereas they went to an homeless lad was found dead, 28 years old he was.
No offence, but they're old. What are they going to do in the future? Nothing.
No, they're fucking up for my kids and my grandkid. They don't care.
They don't not married my daughter and granddaughter.
They want to give my kids and children's future away.
That's a massive flag, that is.
Oh, is it for us?
Yeah. Massive big one.
So we are at critical point right now, ladies and gentlemen. World War IV, we are at critical phase, you know, and we just contextualize this, you know. Just contextualize this, right? We have the government taking your taxpayers' money, right? They're taking your money in taxes, my money in fucking taxes, right? They're taking our taxpayers' money and giving it to the French. And the French are going, hotty, hotty, ho. They're buying like snails and cheese and shit. But that money is supposed to be to stop the boats, right? And then out of our own pocket, so we're paying our taxes, and men just fucking contextualize this. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying contextualize this. We are having men travel over to France themselves using their own money, spending time away from their families, risking arrest, risking a criminal record to stop the boats. Tell me again how this is normal. Tell me, oh, Sean, this is just normal. Nothing will ever happen. Honestly, like, I don't think you guys know how far down this fucking rabbit hole we are. I don't think people know how far down this rabbit hole we are. Right, what else have I got? I'm just going to run through these guys. I've got two more. Okay. Households face unexpected rise. Unexpected. It's not unexpected. Households face unexpected rise in energy prices in the new year. Millions of households will see an increase in. This is from the BBC, published today at midnight. Millions of households will see a rise in energy prices in the depths of winter after regulator Ofgem outlined its next price cap. The increase of the current price cap will take effect starting January and will affect those on variable tariffs. Doesn't fucking matter, guys. It doesn't matter whether you're a variable tariff or you're locked in. Like, we only just got our smart meter like a month ago. Do you know what? Like, I don't know, a couple of months ago, whatever. I've been holding off on it, but I've been holding off as long as I can to get a smart meter. I'm like, no, I'm not a fucking smart meter. Holding off. The meter packed in, all the fucking things kept shorting, and I had to phone EDF or whatever. I had to phone EDF, and they're like, oh yeah, we can come out. I said, right, okay, I don't want a smart meter. And they're like, oh, well, if you don't want a smart meter, we can't actually get to you because we don't actually have the engineers. All right, just give me a fucking smart meter then, whatever. I'm like, right, how bad can it be? How bad can a smart meter be? Yeah, it's bad. It's fucking bad. So just expect energy prices to go up as of January. You know when nobody's got any money? Right. And the final thing I'm going to jump to, guys, and I am going to share this with you. I am going to share this with you. And it's fucking, it is distasteful. It is. It's distasteful. It's harsh, but it's the reality of living in the United Kingdom right now. So an Afghan, right? Okay. So just before I click this button, right? An Afghan national has admitted to a crime against a 12-year-old girl. What do you guys think that crime was? Stealing her Roblox? Taking her scooter? I can't even fucking, like, you know. Our youngest 12. I can't even. I'm just gonna go with the article, guys. Okay, I'm just gonna go with the article. So it turns out Afghan national admits raping of a 12-year-old girl. Rapist mum, rapist sister, man. Rapist mum, rapist sister. There is, look, Ahmad Mukil, 23. And you know, when I think about these people, I remember my time in. Let me get this video. Let me try and find this video. Give me a second, guys. Okay, give me a second. Give me a second. Oh, I found it! I fucking found it! Right, okay. This is going to be fucking YouTube gold. Yes, right. Give me a second. Give me a second. Right, okay. Right. Yes! Right, okay. I need to make that big. Oh, I don't fucking need to make it big. Right, okay, let me jump onto, where are we? We're on that one, right? Okay, so, okay, Afghanistan, the Afghanis are great, strong, powerful. There, I am Afghani soldier, I am powerful military leader. Yeah, really? I've seen you at your fucking best, mate. You're not that good. All right, an Afghan national admitted raping a 12-year-old girl in Nuneaton. Ahmed Mullakal pleaded guilty at Warwick Crown Court to one. Ahmed Mullakil pleaded guilty at Warwick Crown Court to one count of raping a child under the age of 13. Like, is that even a fucking thing? You raped a child. Is rape that bad among children? We actually need to do it by fucking age. He previously denied the charges. Mullakil, whatever his name is, 23, of no fixed abode, also denied abducting a child, 3 counts of rape. What the fuck? This is far worse than I even thought. Right, so he's done. Oh, Jesus Christ, we're getting fucking done, guys. Where's all the men right now? So he denied abducting a child, 3 counts of rape of a child under 13, and 2 counts of sexual assault of a child under 13. So, like, how many children under 13 is he been doing shit to? He appeared alongside, co-defendant. Oh, so what do you think that if you guys were gonna guess what the co-defendant's name was, what would you guess? Jonathan? Kevin? Andrew, no, it's actually Mohammed. Mohammed Kabir, 23, also of no fixed abode, who denies attempting to take a child, abetting rape of a child, and intentionally fucking strangulation of a child. Go fuck yourself. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is the religion of peace. They don't like drinking alcohol. Do you know what drinking alcohol does? It reduces your risk of raping a fucking child. Inshallah. Listen, when I saw this, I didn't realize how bad this was, right? I didn't realize how fucking bad this was. So, the co-defendant, Mohammed Kabir, 23. Look, guys, this is from the BBC. This is not me speculating, right? I'm not speculating here on anything. I'm going from the BBC. And for all of you guys are like, oh, Sean, he goes from... Look, if I go from the BBC, I don't get done for fake news. So I'm going from the BBC, all right? I'm going from the BBC, all right? I don't want to get the videos pulled. Because we all know the video is like right and just. So Mohammed Kabir, 23, also of no fixed abode, who denies attempting to take a child. Is that even a thing now? Is that where we are in the United Kingdom? Children get taken. You can see why the fucking Pope called the Crusades, right? Aiding and abetting rape of children under 13 and intentional strangulation of the girl. So these two, as far as I can see there, they've been fucking double teaming a 13-year-old and strangulating her. Tell me I'm wrong, guys. Tell me I'm wrong. From that article, what I've got highlighted, tell me that Ahmed and Mohammed haven't been double teaming and strangulating a fucking 12-year-old girl. Where do they get off on this? Where do they get off on this? Like, do you think there's some sort of book? Do you think there's some sort of book that says 9-year-old girls are fair game? I don't know. I don't know if there is. I don't know. I don't know if there is, guys. If there is, tell me what that book is, because I think that book should be burnt. And if you guys think I'm being anti anything, all I'm saying is I'm anti 9-year-old girl rape. I'm anti 10-year-old girl rape. I'm anti. Do you know what? Fuck it. I'm anti-rape. And if you guys think anything different, to me, I'm being anti-rape. And if you have a different opinion to me, please put it in the comments, and I'd love to talk to you. Because I'm anti-rape. I don't think rape should be a thing. The defendants who Warwickshire police previously confirmed. So both defendants, apparently, who Warwickshire police previously confirmed were Afghan nationals, were aided by interpreters. Oh, of course, well, they don't speak English, do they? Oh, fucking hell, maybe it's the British girl's fault. Maybe it's the 12-year-old girl's fault for not speaking Pashto. Mr. Kabir spoke only to confirm his name, while Mukhtar confirmed his name and entered his plea while he was I don't even know what that is. Regained on one count of rape. Addressing the defendants in the dock, Judge Montgomery said, "You will both be produced." Fucking, they'll get off on it. They'll get off on it. They're not going to spend any time in jail. Right, I'm not going to read that article, guys. That is an article from BBC. It was produced the 21st of November, which is today. 21st of November 2025, 13:08 GMT. Afghan national admits raping 12-year-old girl. Where do you go with that? Like, where's your sexual preferences? Like, where are your you know, if you're like a 12-year-old girl is your look, guys, I'm fascinated. Like, 12-year-old girls are not my sexual preference. They're not. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, you know. Like, what is it about, like, you know, girls who are under, like, you know, just young girls? Like, where are you guys going with this? I'm genuinely fascinated. But there we go, guys. We've got Mohammed and Ahmed. Strong British names. When I read that article, I genuinely thought the names were going to be Norwegian fishermen. Turns out they're not Norwegian fishermen, guys. They're not Norwegian fishermen. They are Afghan nationals. So turns out I'm wrong. Right, let me get some comments. Let me get some chat. Horse lovers saying the Muslim Brotherhood have 100-year plan to destroy, or they are halfway through it. They're not going to win, right? They're not going to win. They can't win. They will never win. They will never win. They're not going to win. It's impossible for them to win. The problem is, you know how you get a hole in your sock? You know when you get a hole in your sock and you're like, do you know what? I've got a fucking hole in my sock right now. I'll show you the hole in my sock. I'm going to show you the hole in my sock. Not that sock. It's the other sock. Hang on. Right. I have got a hole in my sock. I've got a hole in my sock. I'm going to show it you right now because we don't have carpets in the house. We have like hardwood floors. So I've got a hole in my sock, right? I've got a hole in that sock, yeah? And some wood chips because I've been getting wood. So that hole in my sock, if I don't deal with that hole in my sock, it's going to get bigger. That is the fact. And the longer I don't deal with that hole in my sock, the bigger it's going to get and the harder it's going to be to repair it. So, for example, if I dealt with that hole as soon as I saw it, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I only saw it today. If I deal with that hole in my sock when I first saw it, it's just a tiny little, you can't be bothered, can you? You can't be bothered. So that's where we are with you. Look, a crusade is coming. I don't want that. I don't want to see blood on the streets. I don't even want to see blood. If you knew me in my personal life, maybe some of you guys do. If you knew me in my personal life, you guys know how much I am against human suffering. I'm fucking always on about it. Humans shouldn't suffer. Nobody should suffer. We have got enough shit in the world. No one needs to suffer. We need to go into space. We need to have a new fucking renaissance. We need to have a new industrial revolution. We need to have a new revolution. But right now, we're in a fucking swizzle, guys. We are in an absolute fucking swizzle where the United States, don't think, look, guys, if you're in the United States right now, don't think that you don't. If you are an American right now, don't think that you don't have grooming gangs working in the United States. Don't think that your daughters, your sisters, your mums, like we saw in the video, rape his mum, rape his sister. Oh, Jerala, rape his mum, rape his sister. Don't think that that's not happening in the United States because it fucking. Do you know what? I'm not going to say it is. I'm going to say I would speculate it is, because I would speculate that that is part of the religion of peace. And of course, you know, we all love the religion of peace. I love peace. I do, guys. I love peace. I wanna feel space exploration. I want humans to go from this planet into a multi-planetary discipline. I do. I would prefer, wouldn't everybody prefer that humans, instead of fighting each other over like finite resources on this, you guys know what I'm going to bring? I'm going to bring my 8-ball, right? But I'm going to pretend this is a planet, right? Pretend this is a planet, yeah? Wouldn't you rather have humans, rather than fight each other over all the resources, the finite resources on this planet, wouldn't you prefer that humans built spaceships and went to other fucking places and took their resources? It's just fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It winds me up so much. Alas, ladies and gentlemen. Right, I'm going to jump down. To the bottom. There's so many comments, guys. So many comments. Bandigate. Oh, fucking hell. Where's Bandigane? Bandigane said something. Where's Bandigane gone? Oh, Bandigane is saying, best weapon for America is exposure. What the Quran says, it's been banned in US MSM. Amir the Cricket is saying that human nature, we got to fight when we can't agree. I think I mean, look, we're just in a fucking shit state right now. And I wish, and I do, like, I don't even know what I right now, when I'm saying this, guys, when I'm saying this to you guys, #fam, feeling me one time. When I'm saying this, I'm feeling a real call. I'm feeling a real call to Christianity, but I'm like in the back of my mind, I'm like, right, Sean, are you really feeling a call to Christianity, or are you just feeling like this fucking, like this Islamic takeover of the United Kingdom, and you just like thinking, right, I ain't gonna fucking deal with that. I'm not gonna fucking deal with that. No, I'm gonna fucking, I'm gonna go. But there's so much stuff going off in my, but then I'm thinking like, right, so what is that really? And then I'm thinking like, right, okay, are books that were written thousands of years ago, does that make any difference now? Well, we've got like the moon, we've got like Mars, we've got the sun with an infinite source of energy, or infinite for all our lifespans are going to last. I'm thinking like, why are we fucking about with like fighting each other on Earth? It makes no sense, right? It makes no sense. But then I'm thinking like, but there's so many people who are religious and like, who will like say, no, God is real and Allah is real and, Krishna is real. And I get that. I'm not taking anything away from you guys. I'm just saying, I'm confused. That's all I'm saying, guys. I'm just saying I'm confused. I don't know where I am. Logically, it makes no fucking sense, right? It makes no sense. Let me finish this swizzle. Let me finish this swizzle, guys. Jesus, what time? I've been on for 2 hours. Show me your flowers. Duck Egg is saying, nah, we'll fight, Sean. I think that's a fair I think that's a fair comment from most people in the United Kingdom. Emma Watts is saying, no, God is knocking at your door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Mama, take these guns from me. I can't use them anymore. I don't know, guys, but I've been really feeling like this poll, and I don't want to like Emma, and I mean no disrespect. I don't want to turn that poll down, but I've just felt something. I don't know what it is. I really don't know. I can't say I don't know what it is as much as I can. But I've been looking at Christianity, and as much as my logical mind, my scientific mind, that if you guys knew what I did as my day job, you'd totally understand. As much as my logical scientific mind is telling me, my mind is telling me that, Sean, books written thousands of years ago have no significance on your life today. I agree. But my heart is telling me, Sean, maybe too long has been given on thinking. Maybe we should just feel. Maybe we should just stop thinking about what's right and feel what is right. I'm at a crossroads. I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm at an absolute crossroads right now. Stephanie said, mate, what's that? What is the beer recipe, please? All right, so it depends what you want to do for beer. So first of all, beer, if I was to tell you the best beer for you to make, the cheapest, easiest beer to make, I would say go to Aldi, this is what I would say. Go to Aldi or whatever, buy a kilo of oats, like 85, like a quid or whatever. Buy a pound's worth of oats. They come in like a pack. Put them to one side. Buy a kilo of, or buy a pack of Frosties, whatever that is, Frosties, whatever the frosted thing is, whatever their own brand is. Because with that, you get the sugar. Get all that shit, put it in a pan, boil that motherfucker up, right? Boil that bitch up till it's one time, and then add a kilo of sugar. Probably boil that up with, so you've got a kilo, boil that up with about, so imagine you've got a kilo of oats, you've got you've got half a kilo of Frosties, you put them in a pan, you've boiled them up. Fuck it, give it another kilo of sugar, boil all that shit up, mix it up, get rid of all the gripes, throw some bread yeast in there, boom, you've got some beer. You've got some beer right there, and that's some badass beer. Universal is saying, study all theology and your crossroads will end. You will be more conscious and feel what is the right way of life and ideological according to each resonant differently. I don't know where I am, guys. I don't know where I am. Like, people say, oh, Sean, are you this? Are you that? And I'm like, I don't even know. Donna is, oh my God, it's all fucking going up from Venezuela again. Right, let me speak to my friend. I'll see if I can get it. I may get I've got hang on. Yeah, the Venezuela thing, guys, it's gonna absolutely go. So you know what I used to say when people used to say, "Oh, Sean, what about China and Taiwan?" And I would say, "Look, I'm not going to talk about China and Taiwan right now because those guys haven't swizzled their dillies. You know, the logistics are not there, right? You know, the logistics are not there. You can't hide that shit from satellites. Now, when we talk about Venezuela, 25% of the United States naval forces are off the coast of Venezuela. And for those of you guys who think, oh, that's only a quarter. Yeah, only a quarter of the US Navy is more than it's okay. So let me just throw this out there, right? A quarter, I think I'm right by saying this. A quarter of the United States naval forces is more than, no, it definitely is. A quarter of the United States naval forces is more than all the other the naval forces in the world. What I mean by that is any other naval force can only ever produce 10%, and they're producing 25%. So the United States are producing more than double of their nearest competitor. That's what we're talking about, guys. Those numbers don't lie. And you guys, listen, you guys, I know you guys love Raven Maths, and I do. I love Raven Maths. Raven Maths is the best. You do one, you can do two. Right. I'm just going to go, right, to the fermenter. I'm going to go to the fermenter, and I'm going to see what the fermenter brings me out. Wait there. Oh. 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 So the thing with this beer, right? This is beer now. That was cider. Oh my God, that smells fantastic. I'm not going to lie, it smells fantastic. So you're supposed to, as you get off flavors in your beer, I think I'm going to do this anyway. You're supposed to put, copper in the beer. And honestly, I put copper in this beer like yesterday or the day before, and it's just tasted everything. It's changed everything. You see how my finger's out there? That's what happens if you're an aristocrat. If you're a Philistine and your name's Karen, you do that. Shit! That is actually really good. Right, let me rock some more comments. Oh, hang on a minute. James is saying Apophis is approaching Earth now, and if it fits exactly the Wormwood prophecy, the book of Revelation, it will destroy 1/3 of the world. It's real and it is coming. Look, guys. When we talk about asteroids, space, and all that shit, I'm far beyond. You know, I'm well into this. Okay, so yes, I think Apophis. So for those of you guys who don't know, Apophis is an asteroid. It's heading towards Earth right now. Nobody's denying this, and it's going to come closest to Earth on the 13th of September, no, 13th of April, I think it is, which is a Friday. So Friday, the 13th of April, 2029. So whatever happens, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you've got your shit in order by Friday, the 13th of April, 2029, because this asteroid is going to be coming so close to Earth, it's going to be coming underneath our satellites. I'm not fucking lying. Go and check it out for yourself. Go and Google it, right? Okay. Now, if you're like, oh, but NASA says it's safe. NASA, oh yeah, okay, all right, that's absolutely fine. Go deal with that. Go and buy yourself some like beachfront property in Doncaster. Absolutely fine. Go with that. If you want to think that the government agencies are there to stop mass panic, then, you know, maybe you need to listen. Tracy Leyland is saying, I'm pissed and I don't give a shit. Well done, Tracy Leyland. I'm glad you're pissed and don't give a shit. Listen, it is a Friday night. It is a Friday night. My hair is fantastic. I'm not going to lie. My hair is fantastic. Right, let me jump down. Elizabeth Darry saying, Sean, you know in your heart Christianity is the way, the brain is the matrix, the heart is the soul. Sorry, the heart, the soul is the spiritual and the eternal. We must feel to get the truth and do what is right. Yeah, I'm torn. Honestly, guys, Elizabeth, I'm torn between, like, I've got like my scientific mind who is like, right, Sean, 1 + 1 is 2. 2 + 2 is 4. All right, that's the scientific mind, right? And then you've got the other part of your mind is like, but what if it's not? What if it's not? What if there really was like a baby Jesus and he did all this like Jesus shit and we just like paying him lip service? Like, what if there is more to life than we conceive? What if there is more to reality than our 5 senses can perceive? That's what I'm saying, guys. You know, what if there's more to life than our 5 senses can perceive? And that's where I am right now. James is saying it's a fact. No, James is, listen, guys, stop everything because James is saying it's a fact. All right, I'll go with James. All right, James Brookwell is saying it's a fact. The asteroid, if it does hit Earth, it will be like detonating every single nuclear warhead on Earth in one same place at the time. 2029, turn to Jesus. You ain't got long. So just for context, ladies and gentlemen, the potential strike point for this asteroid in 2029 is just off the coast of California. I was trying to say Miami. It's not California. Chris Bigsby is saying, don't worry too much. Your body is not, hang on a minute. Your body is not you. It's just an avatar that allows you to experience this reality. When the body dies, we get our memory back from before we were born. Like, wouldn't it be like, you know, look, I'm going to leave this on the screen. I don't usually do this. I'm going to tricep dips. You can do 1, you can do 2. Do you know how many I did the other day? Do you know how many? Do you know? I'm not even going to tell you how many triceps and dips. Do you know I did 20 pull-ups the other day in a wanna? I don't know, guys. Did I tell you I did 20 pull-ups in the wanna? So look, what Chris is saying there, right? You know how immersive technology is moving forwards right now? Like we all want more immersive. We want VR. We want more than VR. We want the pressure pads on our hands. Do you think people would go for the Matrix where we plug the fucking shit in the back of our neck? I do. I do. And I think a lot of people would want to play that game. So, Chris, I totally agree with you, mate. Right, listen, guys, I'm just looking at the time. I've got to go back in the house because I know the fire has gone down. I'm going to close you guys down now. Not because of anything you guys are, because you guys that are on right now, you guys are fantastic. You're the best looking. You're the fittest. You're the strongest. You're the fastest. You're the bestest. You guys that are watching me right now are absolutely awesome. And you don't need to explain yourselves to anybody else because you guys are fucking awesome. I'm going to close this live stream down now, guys. I'm going to close this live stream down now. First of all, because I'm slurring my words because I've drunk too much cider. Second of all, because I've got the beer out there that I need to swizzle the copper bar around before. And third of all, because I've been on for far too long. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I will be back on tomorrow morning. Who said that? Hell 2121 is saying stay wild with a black heart. I don't know, Hell, stay one with a black Hell is saying, listen, guys, Hell 2121 is saying stay wild. I think we should all stay wild. And I think certainly Hell with a beautiful avatar. I don't even know what Hell 2121. I don't know. Are you Hell 2121? Are you talking from hell, or are you like a real avatar? But listen, guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, big and small, fat and thin, fit and unfit. I think everybody just needs to understand that we are only a very, oh, hang on a minute, Hell. I don't even know what that means. So Hell says, get bed, Sean. Hope you had a good. I don't know. Listen, guys, I don't know. I don't know where this is all going. I'm probably going to be in, listen, right. Stop, apply safety catch. Looking, I'm going to go over. We're going to repeat a few things from now. So, the crux of this live stream was an emergency broadcast. The ENDGAME World War III has been primed. We have got the US military just off the coast of Venezuela. As far as I'm concerned, that is a done deal. It's a swilly dizzle, and things are going to go down, or maybe go whichever way you guys think about it. Also, in Ukraine, Zelensky, the Ukrainians have been offered a deal. Either accept submission or fight and die. As far as I'm concerned, guys, I would accept fight and die regardless. It wouldn't even be a question for like what? You want me to submit? Yeah, or fight and die? Yeah, I'll go with the second option actually. But listen, guys. Also, on the streets of the United Kingdom, we have got World War II. No, we haven't got World War II. We've got World War III. We've got World War IV. These things are erupting simultaneously. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, do not be denied for anything because we have got things coming in the United Kingdom that people have no idea what's coming. Listen. Spread the word, spread the love, and spread the community. I'm going to close this down now. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If you're on here right now, make sure you have liked and commented and subscribed and all those things. Because I'm going to close this down now. I'm going to go to bed. I'm probably going to have some noodles or maybe a little ribeye. I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 10. And until then, I don't even know what to say, but I'll see you later.